Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. I know in a very, very long time, but hello, everyone. Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world, and welcome to our match preview show for Newcastle United. That is tonight at 8 p.m. I believe it's on BT Sports and as well at Anfield, of course. But, you know, the whole question mark about today, will the game even go ahead? I think that's something that, of course, me and Jack will talk upon in a little bit. Of course, we'll be speaking about, Liverpool getting into Milan as well in the last 16 of the Champions League. And, of course, the news about Nat Phillips as well, reportedly available for £15 million in January. But as you can see, I am joined by a very special guest in Jack Mac LFC. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Cheers, Cameron, lads. Pleasure as always. Thank you for asking me to come on, mate. And hopefully everyone in the room can't wait for the game. And we're can't wait to get stuck into tonight's show, mate. And I've got a good feeling it's going to be a good one tonight.
Absolutely, mate. And look, guys, apologies. Like I said, there hasn't been a video in a while on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna, I always say this, but I am trying to upload more. Of course, Christmas is about, and that, been very, very busy over the last couple of days and weeks. But look, hopefully, I'll be back on the YouTube grind anyway. If you guys would like any videos, please recommend them in the comments. Of course, January is right around the corner. Of course, transfer news will be a huge talking point. Of course.
Yay, clickbait titles.
Clickbait is back in
Kickbait.
Running.
What's kickbait?
Kickbait
when you volley the thumbnails into the interaction.
Yeah, literally. But talking about clickbait, we'll start off there before we speak about Inter Milan, of course, and the Champions League. Of course, big old Nat Phillips. We all love him, of course. Especially doing Cruyff turns at the San Siro, where, look, Maldini, arguably the best ever centre back in the world, got to watch pure greatness in Nat Phillips, a couple of weeks ago. But of course, today the news coming out, I should say, in, of course, James Pearce saying that Nat Phillips is available for around £15 million in January. Apparently, he spoke to Sky Sports yesterday and saying that he would want to leave Liverpool in January. And look, Jack, I'm pretty sure and confident we all knew Nat Phillips was going to leave. I think all of us thought in the summer potentially. Of course, with us signing Ibu and of course, having all of our fit centre backs, back and available. But what a job he has done when called upon. But £15 million, mate, would you be happy with that? I know many people and myself think maybe 20 million, especially English Premier League tax.
And Newcastle, if he is coming there, you can squeeze. They are desperate, like Bournemouth all those years ago. You've hit the nail on the head, mate. And as all the Reds around the world, we've been impressed since he's come in. Obviously, last year him and Reece, two of the main reasons why Liverpool find themselves in the last 16 of the Champions League, in the absence of obviously all of our centre backs that were injured last year. Newcastle are absolutely in dire straits, which we'll watch tonight, and obviously, hopefully, we absolutely put 6-10 past them tonight, because they're an absolute sinking ship that really does need saving. In reality, Nat Phillips will possibly ease the sinking of the ship, and Newcastle, I think they will go down, which we'll discuss tonight, mate. But 15-20 million, I think that's a steal. You just mentioned his Milan debut there. I'm surprised not a lot more, and I think Jurgen Klopp, most importantly, and himself would be like, why is no one coming in for like Nat Phillips? Considering he did solidify Liverpool's top four space last year, and then obviously the Champions League performance against a very well-established Serie A side. Don't get me wrong, we dispatched them with ease, but are you surprised that not a lot of teams, and everyone in chat let us know? For me, I am.
I'm surprised that not a lot of teams have jumped the gun. Like we've seen people like Harry Maguire getting sold for £90 million. My opinion, I think Nat Phillips can do what Harry Maguire can do, and whether or not that's because of course he was Leicester's number one centre half and England and all that crap, but I look at it and I do genuinely look at it and I go, Nat Phillips, in my opinion, is a better defender than Harry Maguire. And if Harry Maguire is going
that's facts.
For that, and look, we've spoken private, haven't we? Like how good Nat Phillips has been and that. And I genuinely am just like, I look at it and I go, why aren't teams going for him? He's dominant in the air. all right, not the best with his feet, like a Virgil van Dijk, let's say, but still very, very decent. Got pace, power and that. And you do look at it and you go, why aren't teams going for it? You look at Ben White as well, another person that came in, for Arsenal, £50 million and that. And, Nat Phillips, he's only what, 24? 25?
23, 24, 25. Even if it's like 25, like if
yeah.
it is his birthday next year, he's still got like 5, 7, 8 years still at the top elite level, mate. And obviously, if you did pair him with, obviously, we've seen with Virgil van Dijk and other partners which he's had at Liverpool, and you surround them with pace. We've seen over like, since everyone's watched football, we've all watched defenders that Jimmy Carragher didn't have the greatest amount of pace. Obviously, he's not on the level of Virgil van Dijk, but you knew what you were going to get with Jamie. I mean, that's the same with Nat as well. They're very good defensively, 1-1. But all the best to you, mate. And I've been really gutted, and I think a lot of Reds as well. Everyone in the comment section already is saying it's a steal, isn't it? Liz said there. But it's if we do allow him to go, we've got to be 110 million% sure that our lads at the back are not going to get injured, because come the back end of this year, if injuries did arise or next year, we don't want to be left in square one exactly. As soon as if we do identify the midfield issues and we do replace them, you don't want to be going back to your defensive reassurance and going, oh, we did sell Nat Phillips. As much as it's difficult to keep a player in on and everyone just keep him at your club when we should really be getting a lot more with first team football. But that's the part and parcel of why Jurgen Klopp's a great manager. He's probably turned around to Nat and went, I know you want more game time. I'll try my best to, and the people upstairs will try the best to get the right price for you now. And Klopp's a player that he says, obviously, if a player wants to leave the football club, he'd never stand in the way. But for what Nat's done, Jurgen probably it would be up there in terms as one of his biggest priorities, really, to sort that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think, guys, as well, we have to take into consideration the best part about it, and I've only now just recently thought about it, is the fact that we signed Nat to a contract extension in the summer, which kept his value there. So, if that wasn't a thing, we could potentially be saying, Nat Phillips for, 10 million, 853, like the low millions. But, 15, 20 million. Look, either way, from what Nat Phillips did last season, of course, coming into a side that was broken. That's not, take away from that. The team was broken, and somehow we got Champions League footy. And him, and like you said, Jack, Reece Williams, I think as well, if Reece Williams was still at the club, and wasn't on loan at Swansea, I think it would be an easy decision. I think it would be instantly, and I would agree with you. It's that like thought process where you go,
what if?
What if it happened? What happens if like Matip gets injured? Obviously, Joe Gomez has already been injured this season, but we've been fortunate having Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk, Ibu, and Joel Matip be fit, and Joel Matip, staying fit, from the start of the season to now, which is a real surprise, as you guys know. Anyway, but let's say hello to you guys anyway. Apologies, we didn't say hello in the start of the video. Anyway, Tom, hello Tom. Hopefully on a fantastic game. Up the Red Men 4-0. Tom is going for higher. Says Liz as well. Doug's in. Saying evening Connor and Jack as well, and also reminding everyone the final LFC Focus podcast of the year is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Leave that plug there, Douglas. Leave that plug there. Can't wait to get into this lot tonight, lads. Absolutely fantastic, Tom. Thank you for tuning in. Absolutely, yeah. And look. Of course, we will speak about things that might be happening, but as of now, of course, the game is still going ahead. 15 million is a steal, says Liz. Newcastle are going to get magpied tonight. Take that however you want. We're a pair of children, so we'll take that as that. Nat is 24-25 in March. Liz, thank you, Liz, for that. I hope he stays until the summer. Injuries and illness worry me. Absolutely, exactly. Well, hi guys. I hope all is well. Hello, John. Hopefully, on a fantastic day, my friend. And Tom says as well, madness him go. I know he needs games that we can't give him, but I'm a red first, and he's a powerful break the glass emergency players we can use domestically and in Europe. Just saying, absolutely, mate. And
Spot
look, we've
on,
used
Tom.
him
Yeah.
domestically, and yeah, exactly, Tom. And we've used him domestically and Europeanly as well. Look, AC Milan, that game, thought he was fantastic alongside Ibu, and as well, of course, we got a League Cup to play. We play Leicester in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. So plenty of games to be played at the moment anyway. But let's talk then about the Champions League. Of course, the Reds qualified, winning 6 out of 6 in our group, and we did get, first of all, Salzburg, but then eventually we got into Milan. And of course, guys, if you did miss it, which I don't think anyone did, but if you did miss it, UEFA practically screwed up. And it's like, how many times have they done this before? And I think they did screw up the second time as well, because we should have been able to play
Nearly.
Villarreal.
Yeah, I think
I don't get it. Like, why can't we play?
Yeah, the first draw was only redone. I know they did cock up on it, but it was because Villarreal, Atletico, and United all whinged to UEFA and went, do it. Because obviously, I think they were the only 3 clubs that whinged. Obviously, they did do it wrong, but I was watching one of the YouTubers that I watch on Twitch. He's a massive Inter Milan fan, Kate, and he was basically, I watched his reaction, and him and all the Inter fans were basically practically crying because they were absolutely fuming. He was the one, Liverpool was the one team that the Inter fans didn't want to face, and they got us. And that just says how powerful we are around Europe. But the fact that all the Inter Milan fans are like, then mentally, psychologically, that's exactly how the Inter Milan players will have been. Because obviously we would have liked Salzburg, but we fear no one, do we, Con and Chat?
No.
So, but we'll play whoever we want, even if it was PSG, bring them on. And so, yeah, PSG and Inter would have been absolutely fuming.
Well, it was like that, wasn't it? Like, we spoke off camera, and we were like PSG, Manchester United, obviously Ronaldo, Messi. It's just, it's too predictable then off UEFA to draw, to get that draw. The last time probably Messi versus Ronaldo and that, and it's just like, I can't even remember who Inter got first of all. I think it was who did get it? Does anyone know in the chat? If anyone knows in the chat, who did Inter get first? But it was a very easy tie. I think it was Benfica. They got. It's Ajax or Benfica.
Yeah.
Was it Ajax or it was either one of them. It was either Ajax or Benfica. And obviously it was very, very easy. And it was like, there we go. Yeah. Doug said Inter Ajax. So there we go. But you look at it, Ajax is a difficult side, but they're nothing compared to Liverpool.
Inter would have preferred that, wouldn't he? Yeah. As good as Ajax have been playing, Chat, haven't they? So, but it's a complete different ball game when you go from Ajax to Liverpool.
Yeah, it is. And look, we said, didn't we? I said to you, I don't care who we get. I would have loved to got PSG to knock them out. I personally would have loved that, but I didn't care because I'm confident in this Liverpool side. And I've said this to you off camera, and I'll say it on camera. I think this Liverpool side, the way we are playing, we're more likely to win the Champions League if we are to win anything than the Premier League. Personally, but
yeah, most definitely, it's the easiest one to win, and it makes, even when we did win the Champions League, we got beat a couple of times that season in Europe, didn't we? So it can happen.
Well,
I remember that.
Well, I don't think we won. I think apart from Bayern, we didn't win an away game. The one you think?
Yeah, we were shocked. We were shocking away. We got beat by Belgrade on it like 2-0. Where we're like, that kid, don't get me started on that game. I went to the pub and everything. It was like, it's absolutely fuming. How contrasting that Champions League campaign away from home, and then we just turned into an absolute animal away. Beat especially that Sadio Mane back heel past Manuel Neuer, living the folklore. But as you said there, if we did have to get PSG, we'll knock Inter out. And when certain clubs in the Champions League would like to avoid each other because obviously they're scared. And I'm so happy that PSG, Real got each other, because both of their chief executives, people that run both clubs, hate each other and they despise each other. And rightly so, because that's what happens when you got a lot of money. They all love to show off and all that.
Yeah, but you look at it, it's practically the Mbappe derby, because you got obviously
Mbappe's out,
Mbappe.
yeah.
Yeah, Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid, of course. Got that history. Of course, what happened last summer and that anyway. But you look at it and you go, you look at Liverpool's odds, and Doug saying, it's coming home number 7. I'm not saying that. We're not England.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. No.
Doug could leave. No, I'm kidding.
You're
But
not
look,
getting your Christmas
you look at
card
it and
off me
you
now, lad.
go, but you look at it and you go, like Liverpool's odds for that. Like for me, I don't think there's any team that can beat Liverpool at the moment. Like the way Liverpool are now, of course, things can change from now until March or whatever when we play. Of course, if we do get through and that. But I look at it and I go, of course, last year we had the problems with injuries. We had Nat Phillips, Ozan Kabak at the back, and you look at it and you go, that wasn't the best of centre back or the best defense then to go and challenge for a Champions League, even though you looked at it and it was probably one of the best times to win the Champions League. But I just look at it and I go, if Liverpool can get past Inter, what an opportunity it is to win the Champions League, and how we are playing at the minute.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, the likes of Lautaro somehow still at Inter. Don't know why. Obviously, Barella will be missing for the first leg, which will be a massive plus for us. But as I said, mate, I tell you, one day he will sign for Liverpool, and it'll be all down to me. And everyone will be making YouTube videos going, "Oh, what a great player Barella is." I've been speaking about this lad since he was born. Since he's, but yeah, no, he's a tremendous little player, mate. And he would have been the playmaker, especially in that first leg. But we've been to Milan once already this season and absolutely battered a certain Milan team, and we'll do exactly the same, mate. And bring them all on, mate. Bring every single team on in Champions League, whether that be City, we'll batter them in Europe over 2 legs. Could Chelsea? It'll be difficult games, but hopefully, if fans are still in stadiums, I mean, that would be the only port of concern, really, if Liverpool and most clubs around Europe do miss their home fans, or just fans in general in Europe. It's just going to be basically like, it's like when we got beat by Real, going and chatting it. We were sat there watching in their second stadium. I know their ground was getting renovated at the time, but it just felt like a training game. And it was weird, but I'm excited, mate. Bring on Inter, and obviously the Italian teams are just, there's no one in Serie A that comes up to the par with the likes of Bayern, Liverpool, City as well. There's no one on par at all.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Hello, Jamie, as well, saying, "Hey guys, hope you are well. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day, mate." But let's move on then. Of course, going from bit of well, not happy news with Inter Milan, but interesting news to, of course, tonight's game against, of course, Newcastle United. And of course, will the game go ahead? Of course, in the UK, if anyone's watching, abroad or anything like that, of course, the new variant of COVID is ramping through, of course, the Premier League, of course, the UK itself. Tonight's game between Leicester and Spurs has already been called off. There were rumours earlier circling that Chelsea and the game was cancelled, I should say, but that is still going ahead as of now, and as of recording. And of course, there's already been whispers about Liverpool Newcastle potentially getting postponed as well. And of course, there's been this whole rumour for the last hour that the Premier League are meant to be meeting meant to be suspending the league until January 15th. But of course, it is all speculation and rumours at the moment. But Jack, what are your thoughts, mate? Because I know we spoke about it, I think it was on Doug's channel last week, about, of course, AFCON. Of course, that's also being, rumoured to be postponed. And it's just a very, very difficult position to be in at the moment, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's if the Premier League and the league associations and all these businesses were run properly and had a clear idea in terms of keeping their clients, the consumers safe as well. Obviously, the thinking around stadiums, you go to different stadiums and it's all different regulations, but obviously safety is paramount for everyone. And and everything really in relation to that. But the football, if it does have to get stopped for a couple of weeks, fair dues, because obviously that's what's most important. Keep everyone at home for like a week or two. I'm just talking about the players, and obviously, but there's a lot of players within the Premier League that haven't had the vaccine, and obviously that's their own choice and the right to do that as well. So you're going to be having 50%, like whatever percentage it is, of players unvaccinated mixing with obviously vaccinated, and that's, I think, where the problem will arise in the future. Not due to obviously the individuals making the decisions, it's their own body, their own choice, and most importantly, but if the Premier League, there have to be balance and the issue and everything. It's the problem lies, and the rules and everything lie with people more important than us fans. It's the people on the boards of the Premier League and in charge of these football clubs that make the right decisions. Obviously, we all just go to football because we love it and enjoy it, but we do it in the case of obviously the safety being paramount within the ground or in and around, and obviously the players and all that, they have families and everyone. So it's all about everyone coming together, but it's going to be difficult when you do get all clubs together. They're all going to be saying, it's like with the Super League or obviously with COVID at the minute, over the last couple of years, people are agreeing on different things, and you're not going to get a conclusive answer off a lot of the Premier Leagues. For me, it's difficult to see in the next couple of weeks because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse in relation to obviously the cases going up. So it will inevitably be stopped, I think. But it's difficult, mate. There's a lot of outcomes in relation to that. Isn't there?
Yeah, no, there is, and I absolutely agree with you. I think, look, it is a very, very tricky situation to be in. Like, I think, remember back to this time last year, I think there was a talk about being a 2-week stoppage because, of course, I think there was a new variant this time last year. And the Premier League was thinking about suspending the league. They didn't. They went through it, and the Premier League continued, and it was it worked out to be fine. But of course, like you mentioned, there's certain players that haven't been vaccinated at all. I know, of course, the booster program now has been pushed forward by a month, of course, by a certain person that we will not talk about on this channel. Idiot, but you look at it and you go, look at high profile players, for example, Joshua Kimmich, is out for the rest
got
of
long COVID now.
Yeah, he's got long COVID. Apparently he's suffered a collapsed lung, which is huge. It is very, very huge. So hopefully he'll be okay and that. But he's spoken publicly about why he won't get the vaccine, and he is absolutely total. He has his right to do that, and absolutely. And we don't know how many players are. Jurgen said that 99% of Liverpool's players and staff were fully vaccinated before, of course, the booster. So we don't know.
And even he hated talking about it, didn't he, Doug? I think he came out today. He said, I'm just listening to scientists, but it's not. People are like the press, most importantly. They always, obviously, Jürgen, he's an intelligent man. He could be a politician after football if he can be bothered, but he's so intelligent in terms of what he does say and when he does say it. He said he just listens to, obviously, the people more important than him and footballers. Obviously, the science behind all the decisions, but the problem will arise, Con, and chat as well, if the Premier League does continue to resume, and you've got teams not being able to field players. What will happen? Will clubs be penalised for not fielding the certain criteria of players? Because obviously the training facilities, the stadium might be closed or in and around the club. So it's what you do. Yeah. Obviously, do you train? Do you go with under 21s or under 18s for the Premier League game? There's a lot of factors, so many factors. Obviously, Spurs got kicked out of the Europa League Conference League, didn't they? Because basically he couldn't travel, couldn't do practically anything. And obviously, we've seen like about 2 of their last fixtures get suspended. So when will the clubs be starting to get penalised? Which is it's unfair because it's health issues. It's not a case of obviously them saying, "Oh, we're not playing," but it's difficult, mate, and that will be one of the biggest issues, not just for Liverpool, but for a lot of clubs in the coming weeks. The eligibility of players being able to get selected.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And the tricky situation is as well, and it's like for us fans going in, you have to prove that you are, fully vaccinated, of course, with the COVID pass. Of course, I think many of us will be wanting to go to, cinemas and that, of course, for Spider-Man and things like that, big things that are happening. It's all these things you have to prove, that you're vaccinated. Will this carry into football? Do eventually the players have to get vaccinated to be able to play football and be on the pitch and that? But
then that goes into a whole different dimension, mate, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, like because people have the choice to do anything within life, and that.
It's talking into another dimension and another whole conversation with that. But it is a very, 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 very tricky situation. Of course, hopefully the game does go ahead, and of course if it doesn't, or if it does, we'll let you know. Of course, we'll be alive tonight if it is with a match preview. Post-match show, my most preview this is.
Yeah, we're doing that now,
no, you can tell I haven't done YouTube for a while, but no, Jay says it's a tricky one. If you have a 2-week break when you come back, what happens if there's more cases? We can't keep stopping as there no time to play these games. Yeah, exactly. And look, of course, the league is already crammed in as it is. Another 2 weeks further delays things and so forth. But yeah, absolutely, smash that like button if you think Mo gets a hat trick tonight. It'd be very, very nice if he did, Tom. And of course, please smash that like button as well. Helen's in as well, saying hi Connor, hope you are well. I'm doing fantastic, thank you, Helen. The problem with stopping the league is when would you play the games you've missed? There's too many games to play already. I think people have said March time, like towards the end of March, which then causes chaos with the structures and that, because the Premier League does quite well with the structure of games now with the thing, but it would just be up in the air again, wouldn't it? Hi Jack, hope you are well, says Helen, and hi chat as well. But let's talk about the actual game then, of course. Let's get that off the screen. But let's talk then about, of course, the overall game itself. Of course, Liverpool v Newcastle United. They've got new owners, of course, controversially, and that. But on the field, they are atrocious. They got their first win, of course, a couple of weeks ago against Burnley, which Burnley. But Jack, what have you made of Newcastle this season? Of course, sacking Steve Bruce. Good old Brucey.
Good old Brucey.
Bring in Eddie Howe, and it just looks like Bournemouth 2.0, in my opinion. What's your thoughts?
He's sending them down to the Championship, mate. Like when I watched them, Bournemouth in the Premier League, most importantly, they were an absolute shambles, weren't they? Gone and chat. They didn't even know have a Scooby Doo how to defend outside the box. It was embarrassing. And even if Eddie Howe does get them relegated, he used to say he's going to get them back into the Premier League. I know he does know the Championship well. Obviously, he got Bournemouth promoted through a couple of divisions, which is fantastic. But we sing about the Reds having no money. We're still going to win the league. Newcastle have got lots of money, but they're going to get relegated. So it swings around about.
That's a really good point.
Like it's as I say, money doesn't always bring you happiness or success, especially if it's in the wrong hands. It's about what you do.
You look at it. Well, you look at it. If they was to get relegated, would Eddie Howe keep his job? I think that's the. I know you said with the Championship, he would do quite well. Would he even keep the job? Would they look for someone else to take over from there, or it's a very interesting position.
For me, I was surprised you even went there, mate. I think I don't know about everyone else felt. I know they did try and get Unai Emery, but there's going to be one greedy manager out there that is very good at the job. The fact that Everton got Ancelotti to Merseyside, to the other side of the Mersey, then anything's possible in life if you throw enough money at it. There will be a manager in Europe. It wouldn't surprise me if one season Newcastle go and hire Jose Mourinho. If you paid him enough, I know he wouldn't come in the Championship, but if you paid him enough, we've seen Jose jump in bed with anyone and everyone at the minute. The only club he hasn't managed in the Premier League, more or less, is Liverpool. And at the minute. So, and I hope he never steps foot near our football club anyway. As much as he'd want to manage Liverpool. But they need to change it, mate. He's still got 16, 17 games into the Premier League season, aren't we? Still a lot of football to go. We've seen how chock-a-block it has been at the bottom of the league. But I know we joke about it, but Everton, if they do continue to lose games, and the clubs in and around Everton, like Southampton and all teams there, they've got to be very careful, especially we've seen the impact in which Norwich have had with their new manager. And obviously Newcastle, obviously they'll get battered tonight, hopefully. But they've got enough quality, and if Newcastle do sign one or probably, I'd say one or two, but I mean a whole team, which they can do, they surely will improve. But it's the $1 million question, mate. For me, if I was in Newcastle, it smacks belief that they've not hired someone with a bit more football knowledge within the club to actually just get in there. Obviously, like City done with the ex-Barca chief executive, always with Jurgen Klopp and getting people, Michael Edwards, people that know football from the ground up and know what they're doing. Obviously, I think Newcastle just need a lot of guidance, but guidance from the right people in terms of what they need to do. Because I think they've just gone in with their sole premise of, we've got lots of money, we'll spend it. But it could be another, everyone was talking about the impact. Obviously, if in the right impact, they could win the league in 5 years, which is very unlikely, but it is possible if you did go in there with the right structure and the right vision for the football club. But it's not as easy. There's not many Jurgen Klopps or Pep Guardiolas around, is there? So.
No, there's most definitely not. But I absolutely agree with you. I think, like, the whole, because obviously January is a huge opportunity for Newcastle to obviously recruit and bring in better players and so forth. I know that there's a lot of deadwood at Barcelona. A certain Felipe Coutinho is the favourite at the minute to be their first Newcastle signing under the new ownership. So I don't know if that's true.
Ginny's screaming to me, can't chat as well. Do you reckon? I know the Newcastle fan base don't like him. I know for the fact, obviously, the way in which he went about his Liverpool transfer. And obviously bailed on them when they did get relegated, but it's when Liverpool come calling. But then again, we say that to Coutinho, so football fans are very fickle.
It just goes in a roundabout constantly. But Phil Coutinho is reportedly at the minute the favourite to be the first signing for Newcastle anyway. But I look at it and I go, it's too much of a big job for someone like Eddie Howe. If it was already settled and like if they were like mid-table, let's say, then I'd say sure, maybe. But because they are literally bottom of the near enough bottom of the league, I look at it and I go, just no. Like it just reminds me of Bournemouth all over again. And I look at it and I look at Newcastle, and the only player for me, only two players I would say that don't need replacing are probably Callum Wilson and Alan St-Maximin. I think them two are probably their only hope.
Wait, what?
Joe
not the world-class ability of Joe.
Oh yeah, the Mike Ashley, like the Bobby Firmino, but no, look, Newcastle tonight, I think are going to get absolutely battered. This was the Jack's been kind of careful here, but of course that was the Newcastle team that got battered 4-0 by Leicester, which is kind of hilarious to be fair. Looking at that 4-4-2. Absolutely beautiful.
Good old Steve Bruce football 4-4-2.
Oh, I know.
Even though we got Eddie Allen.
You look at the predicted team for tonight. Obviously, don't take any notice of Liverpool side because they reckon Virgil van Dijk's not playing. But they've gone 3 at the back, which they could do, but which means 5 at the back. But of course, you've got Jonjo Shelvey, former Liverpool player. You've got, of course, Jamal Lewis that Liverpool did try and sign. Was it last summer or the summer before that? We
thank
It was the summer before, wasn't it? Because we signed Costas the same summer, and that. But there is a lot of like ex-Liverpool players, of course. Andy Carroll, Jesus Christ, I shouldn't have mentioned his name, but
He's not there now, is he? Has he left?
no, he's at Reading now.
Weirdly,
He's at Reading. The reason why I know that is because he scored the winning goal like last week for Reading and that. But you look at it, and of course Liverpool and Newcastle, they do have history, of course. But look, I think Liverpool today, they're going to be, look, we're going to continue our form. Yes, we only scored 1 goal against Villa, against a very good Villa side. But you look at it, I just think it's going to be another battering tonight.
It annoyed me, Con. I don't know if it annoyed you, the Reds, watching City. Just everyone was like waxing lyrical at Man City, like you've just turned up and done the best performance in their life. Don't get me wrong, they played well. But Leeds' defence open like the Reds party, like the Reds say, mate. It was like you could have drove a tank right through Leeds' teammate and you wouldn't have done nothing. Or even if you parked a tank outside of Leeds' goal, still would have conceded. It gets me triggered, as you can see, Con. Sorry.
I hope Leeds get relegated so then we can have Rafinha for cheap. Sorry to any Leeds fans, but
But everyone turns up against us, but not City. That does me head in.
Well, remember years ago, Burnley come to Anfield and just parked the bus, and we went to Burnley and they parked the bus, and then they went to City and conceded 6, and I'm like, how? It just makes no sense.
Like what I like about Wolves though, in recent weeks, they got a win against Brighton. They actually have a decent manager. I think he got beat by us, got beat by City, and then he went to Brighton and then won 1-0. Because obviously, back-to-back results, obviously, against big teams, you learn, don't you? But as you said there, I think there was another game against West Brom a couple of seasons ago when City played. But you can't have them all.
Don't mention West Brom, please. They could be back in the Premier League next year. I cannot deal with West Brom. Tom said anyway, saying hello, fellas. Hello, Tom. Hope you're having a fantastic day, mates. Eddie Howe's defense is like opening tins of beans too easy. Some people struggle with the tin of beans. I think it's better if you get relegated. Don't sign in January. Rebuild with Howe in charge and let him get his tactics right and sign players when they get back up. To be fair, Tom, I think he would want that because the NDF can't get relegated. To be fair. You don't mute. What do you say?
One less spot, one less spot for them to go down.
Exactly. Comfortable win for Liverpool tonight, says Chris. League won't get cancelled or postponed because broadcasters would howl at the moon like a wolf if that happened. Very, very, very true. But Jack, what's your start 11 prediction for tonight? Because of course Spurs on the weekend, if that goes ahead. Of course, Spurs having the last 2 games cancelled, like you mentioned earlier. But what would be your team tonight? I think there's a bit of rotation that I think will happen.
Yeah, I know everyone's talking about rotation, mate, but if the league's going to get stopped for a couple of weeks, why not go strong? Like, in all honesty.
But we don't know if it's going to get stopped. That's the thing.
Yeah, but for me, I know a lot of people do say rotation. For me, the fact that we got Naby and Elliott's close to coming back in a couple of weeks or good another month. For me, if you got all your players fit, mate, for me personally, I'd just go all strong again. Possibly, I know I'm not too sure on Divock chat. Is he back? He was out injured last game that we played, but for me, whilst we got Salah and Mane, we don't know what's happening with Akon. Just play them all, mate. Play the team that we did play against Wolves, because what we need and what we have done in recent weeks, and that what helped with both back-to-back 1-0 wins was so integral. We've inbuilt again, not that it was missing, but we started to grind out results with this starting 11. And for me personally, don't change something that isn't broken. If one in a couple of weeks we do get beat, then possibly change it here and there. But I know Bobby's back to full fitness, well, close to back to full fitness. But we've got him to come off the bench if we need it. Or even if we do start with Bobby, do we want that impact off the bench? But for me, keep it the way it has been, mate. I don't know how Chatfield get your starting 11 in, mate. What do you reckon, Con?
Well, I agree to an extent. I think the midfield, will stay the same. I think Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo, you need to not disrupt that as much. Like I think as long as they're fit, I think that's yes, you can substitute them out after 60, 70 minutes, but like you need to keep that rhythm going. I think left back wise, I think Costas plays tonight. I've got Costas in my team, and I think Ibu comes in because we've got Spurs on the weekend. I think Matip he can cope with pace. Ever since the West Ham game, he's been able to cope with pace. I think, and I think as well. Look, I think you need to now keep with games coming thick and fast. You need to keep everyone sharp. I think, of course, I've seen many people on Twitter mentioning, Joe Gomez, could he play tonight? And that potentially, I don't think so. I think you're most likely going to see Joe Gomez a backup right back more than centre half this season, which is
him and that will probably play, or Ibu will play the Leicester game. I think we've got Leicester in the cup, haven't we? So I think that will be him at home. I think that will be the game for a lot of fringe players to play as well. So it's
absolutely agree.
This is what Jürgen does so well, doesn't he, Con, and everyone in chat. Over last years, does so well at balancing. He knows exactly what he's going to do. He would have fought 10 games ahead already, done further than us anyway. But I think he'll know exactly what he's going to do. And it's mad our record in December, isn't it, Con and chat? If you know the full. We've only dropped points in about 2 games in about 30 odd games, something crazy.
December. We always have a good December in the year.
Fingers crossed.
It's always the January. It's always the January. I think apart from when we won the league, I think the one that we went so close. I think we did. I think every other January we've been bad, I think, but hopefully we'll be good. But yeah, I think it'd be Ali, I think it'd be Trent, I think it'd be Ibu, Virgil, Kostas, the middle 3 of Fab, Thiago, Hendo, and then I'm going to go with Mo, Sadio, and I'm going Bobby. I think Bobby plays tonight. Be interesting to see whether or not if he would. As you found a piece of plastic. But
yeah, I don't know. I've literally just noticed that.
No, I don't worry. I literally do that anyway. But yeah, I think Bobby will. I think Bobby will start. And I think Jota will come on later on anyway. But guys, let us know your score predictions.
Go ahead, John. I love it. You can tell I'm rubbing off on John. Yes, John.
Oh, John, you're
going to be kicking yourself if this actually comes in and you've not put that bet on, mate. We're all we sat at home going, did John put that bet on an 8-0?
Can anyone check?
I bet the odds will literally be like 2-1 as well for 8-0.
Jesus Christ! All right,
Tom's gone.
We're going on about score predictions then. What Tom's gone for 4-0. John's gone for 8-0. What's your score prediction for the game?
6-0. 6-0. Lads, if Leicester can put 4 past them, God help them. Like, God help them. I think Eddie Howe will be calling for half time at 25 minutes in and be like, can we have half time?
If Leicester can do it, we can do it.
And if the crowd, which the crowd will be up for it, especially we don't know what's going to happen in the next coming weeks, the crowd will be absolutely right behind them tonight. And everyone would have watched City play against Leeds. This is our game to show and react in the right way. And sorry, Newcastle, but you're going to get your ass slapped tonight. And this is our game.
I'm not going. Tom's going to get it 6-0. Jesus Christ!
I thought that said 600,000 million trillion. There, to nil.
It's not freaking. It's not Quidditch points or anything like that. Unify like. John says could actually do it for a laugh. Do it, John.
What are the odds at 8-0? Yeah, let us know what the odds are.
John, put it on and then let us know on Twitter or anything. How it gets on. Tag both of us in it. For me, I'm not gonna go as mental. I'm 4-0. Gone a bit boring, but yeah, 4-0 for me. I think we're gonna batter them, but not 6 or 7. If it's 6, right. 9-0. Let's do it, against Southampton thing. 9-0 tonight.
What is Liverpool's biggest ever Premier League win? Not Premier League, but is it 9-0?
9.
It was that against the Ev.
I think, is it?
That's
I
a
hope
good.
so.
Chat, let us know. Yeah,
Well,
we should know these stats really. Yeah, I
Palace.
get Google.
Palace was the biggest
Away one.
away win for Liverpool. We beat, I don't know, 11-0. Okay.
League win.
Listen to
Record league win
2018.
was 10-1 against Rotherham Town in the second division.
Yeah,
18-19 records. Oh yeah.
But it's not Premier League. It's not like that's first division. It's not Premier League.
Oh,
I don't know. Guys, if anyone knows, let us know in the chat. John said it's 90-1. Jack.
90-1. They're rubbish odds then. I wouldn't even put a quid on that.
It's not bad odds. It's not bad odds.
Yeah.
It's not great odds. Is there a Salah hat-trick tonight, people? Hopefully. Tom?
What do you mean, a double hat-trick?
John, you should literally put...
Double hat-trick?
Well, to be fair, you should put a bet on for 6-0 Liverpool and Mo Salah to get a hat-trick. That's
a lot more sensible. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Double hat-tricks, Christ.
I bet the odds on the Salah hat-trick could be one... Oof. That's a good question. Jack, do you know? I bet you there's double hat-trick. Or has a player ever got a hat-trick of goals and a hat-trick of assists? Surely there's got to be a player that's done
that. Just Trent.
Oh, yeah.
Goals and hat-tricks of assists.
Even Ronaldo wasn't even done that. I mean, in the Premier League era, Messi's definitely done it in his career.
Don't tell Ronaldo that. He'll try everything now to do that.
Oh,
the last great thing I do. But look, guys, I think we're going to leave it there because it is 50 minutes. If anyone, before we do go, John says thought it would have been something like 250-1 at least.
Yeah. That's how good we are, mates. We don't want another layer. We don't want another day. Is it Leicester when everyone just lobs them to the bank?
I know. What was it? 1,000-1? Was it?
Oh yeah, they got caught with the pants down.
Yeah, literally. But I already read that one out. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's show. Let us know in the comments down below if you're watching on repeat. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know, everything we've spoken about. Of course, we've spoken about Inter. And Liverpool get into in the last 16. Of course, Nat Phillips as well could be leaving for £15 million. And of course, we've spoken about Newcastle. And of course, will the Premier League be a thing in the next couple of weeks as well? So let us know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Head over to Jack Mac LFC as well. Because I think Jack will most probably doing a post match, right?
Yeah, both of us will be doing a post match. Try and get you on there as well.
Yeah, we'll be doing post match. Yeah, well, I'll happily jump on. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Like of course, it's chaos at the minute outdoors, so please stay safe because life is just a roller coaster at the minute again. But look, hopefully football won't be cancelled. But if it does, we'll all stay positive. Football will be back, and we'll shout and scream and let it all out when hopefully the Reds be playing tonight, and hopefully we can all celebrate a 6-0 battering, and I'm hoping that's right anyway. But before we do go, Tom said if Liverpool win tonight, they will record their 2,000 top flight victory if they manage that. Well, 2,000 wins, 2,000 goals perhaps in the game.
Some teams have been beat 2,000 times. Not saying any names, but you know who they are.
God's sake.
That's a great stat. We'll
leave it. Yeah, to be fair, that was a really good stat. And then Tower for the stream, Connor and Jack, lad. Yeah, absolutely welcome, Helen. But yeah, guys, please stay safe. We will be back tonight, hopefully with a post-match reaction. If anything does happen before now and then, of course, we'll let you know. We'll come back live and we'll all let you know. But until next time, guys.
Oh, sorry, that. And if we're all watching the stream tonight, obviously the footy and the goals are flying in, we're just going to be reminiscing of what we've just been discussing about, haven't we? Yeah. And we want Ali clean sheet as well. But sorry, that. Cheers for having me on, mate, and great to speak everyone in chat as well. Have a lovely night. Enjoy the match.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's no problem, lad. But yeah, guys, please stay safe, please stay well, and yeah, we will see you all